Welcome back to Overhead Athletics. Max Wardell here. We're going through rotator cuff and arm care exercises for the quarterback today. You've seen Randy in a couple of our other videos. We did a rock tape video on him, as well as some constraints led approach based throwing instruction, working on his throwing technique, and now we're working on arm care exercise, and we want to go through some of our favorite arm care exercises for the quarterback. The quarterback's unique in that they have to be a throwing athlete where they have to endure the demands of the throw, which could potentially lead to chronic injuries and breakdown in the shoulder, but they also have to deal with trauma. And that's really tough to prepare for, is those big hits coming in from the side or the hit when the arm's up. The best thing that we can do is get the shoulder as strong and as stable as possible and make the mechanics of the throw as efficient as possible. What we're doing here is just side-lying external rotation. We see this done all the time. We see it done poorly all the time. And even when Randy came in, we saw him doing this exercise incorrectly. What we've done here is we've taken him from rolled back, where he was just kind of flinging the arm up. Kind of show us how you were doing it before, where he was coming way up into external rotation and rolled back. We've rolled him forward, roll, roll, roll. He's got to pinch this towel roll, so actively adduct his arm. So he's pinching into the towel roll. You can put an empty water bottle under the arm. The elbow is going down towards the pocket, shoulders back in the socket, and he's rolled forward, remember. That makes him fight gravity at the end. He keeps 90 degrees at the elbow, and he's going to do a set of 10 here. And this is his second set, so we'll see how he does. Nice and slow. Good. We got to get the rotator cuff and the shoulder really strong. Once he gets 10 here, got 10? Okay, 90-90 ER, our second one. You got to be strong with your rotator cuff up here too. So now he's going to grab his dumbbell. Come on, no rest. Hold that arm. Grab, grab, grab. Here, and so he's in 90-90, 90 here, shoulders down, depressed, no shrugging of the shoulder, keep the elbow at 90 degrees, and you see how much range of motion he has. Let's see if he can work through that full range with 3 pounds. Good. Now don't let yourself deviate back with that form. So it's a perfect rotation. There's no deviation of the arm. We saw some weakness in the shoulder that we're starting to work on. We like to see a really strong rotator cuff in all of our throwing athletes, particularly our quarterbacks who have to endure that pounding on their shoulder. The other thing about being a quarterback is that you have to one time throw a short pass, then you're off the field for a period of time cooling down, then you just have to jump back on, and now you're throwing a long pass, short pass. There's so much variation, and it's so intermittent that sometimes it's difficult to kind of deal with. The stronger you are, the more resilient you're going to be. How many you got there? 10 right there. We like to give our athletes about 30-second rest between sets. However, for the purpose of the video, we're going to keep rolling. So whenever you're done with that set, you're going to go right into the next one, which is that horizontal adduction and abduction across, and then ab and adduction at the side. We call it horizontal ad-ab. Good. Let's do that one. So he's going to start at the top, thumbs pointing to the floor, bring this arm up under your head. Now he's going to reach, keeps his arm vertical, he's going to reach and roll without letting the shoulder come forward in the socket as far as he possibly can go that way. Good, hold, keep reaching on the way back up. Good, and then down to the pocket. So he's trying to make this arc as big as he can make this arc around. What I like to do with a lot of my guys is give them a little point of target here. So come on, touch my hand. That way they can't go faster than I move. And they have something where they're trying to reach out and actively reach further. Don't let that come forward in the socket there. Good. Thumb stays pointed to the floor. Reach your body. Come on, touch my hand. Good. So I'm getting him to roll his chest as he comes around as well. So it's not all motion through the shoulder. It's a lot of rib cage, scapular motion. Reach in that way. And we'll generally program these things for sets of 10. And this is a professional athlete here, and he can tell you how heavy 3 pounds really is if he's doing the exercise properly. A lot of guys will jump in, think they can do 8 pounds. You can do 8 pounds if you're doing it poorly, or if you're a superhuman. Don't let that come forward. So our goal here is to build him up to 5 5 to 7 pounds on all these exercises, more like 8 on the Sidelying ER. And if you're doing at home, if you've never watched our videos and you're doing 4 or 5 pounds right now, my bet is if you came to here and we corrected your technique, you'd probably be using 2. So if you're not sure, go back and watch this video again and exactly how you should be doing that technique. So once we get 10 there, generally this is a 2 to 3 set type of thing, at least 2 to 3 days a week. In season, we go down to 2. Off season, we'll do 3. And you can build up the reps, and once you get to about 15 reps per set, then you can jump up another pound on the exercise. Once he gets done with this, we'll show you some standing variations to try to get his shoulder even stronger. One thing we're also doing here with Randy is we're having him do throws we call holds, where he actually has to have a heavier ball and hold on to it through the deceleration of the throw. Doesn't let the ball go. So it's just like his throw, except he never lets go of the ball. And then we'll have him do what we call the throwing sock, where he's actually throwing into a device attached to the arm, and he has to actually control that load at the end of his throw. And that's in the first video that we actually filmed here with Randy, which was on throwing technique and improving the throw for the quarterback. So we'll throw that video here at the end, or make sure you check that out. Okay, from here, let's head over here. We're going to go through a few exercises. I like bands a lot for these. So the blue TheraBand is probably a good place to start with someone at his level. What I like to do is here is called an empty can with the band reach. So thumb is down, you don't go too high, but the shoulder doesn't shrug. And I'm reaching out that way the entire time. So chest's up, so we're always working on posture. And then you're going to about here, reaching out that way as far as you can. Nice. Keep your wrist flat, that's a little high. So no compensations anywhere. Reach out that way as far as you can. Good. And down. This is very important for the deceleration of the throw. So when your arm comes around your body, you have to be able to slow it down. We use the empty can all the time because that's the position of stability for the shoulder at the end of the throw, but that's also the position that the shoulder has to move through. So a lot of times we see people advocating against this for the option of the full can, which we use as well. This is the position the shoulder has to get to in the throw, so we're going to train it during the exercise. Here, I like to go a little bit higher with my reps, closer to 15. Reach out, trust my hand, there you go. And then we like to add in a lot of lower trapezius work, especially for our quarterbacks. And the reason for that is they throw in a more upright posture. So when you're more upright, you have to have more scapular control, more control of the rotator cuff at the end of the throw. How many you got there? Burning? Yeah. Good. So we're showing one set of each, but like we said, we'd like them to go through a few sets. We can grab some heavy balls, we can grab some dumbbells, whatever it is. It's now a forward hinge, so I'm working on a little bit of hamstring flexibility, nice posture, chin tuck, and then I'm gonna do a Y here. In a little closer towards the knees, and then you're gonna come up and out on a 45-degree angle. This time, instead of reaching out, you're gonna try to suck your shoulder blades down and back. Hinge a little bit more. Okay, good. Go. Hold. So every time we do a little isometric hold at the end, pull away from you without bending your elbows. Pull away. Pull your shoulders down and back. There you go, right there. Hold. Say your shoulders are down and back there. You got to hold that for 5 seconds on every rep. So you shouldn't feel as much burning here as you do down here, if you're doing it properly. Good. Yep. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's pretty excellent there. Good. And these are all things that he can start to do on his own. And he has to. He really has to do on his own, especially being overseas, playing football. Like, we correct the technique. Now, you're the carpenter here. This is a house you're building. All I'm doing is trying to teach you the tools to use and how to use them, and then you got to take these tools and build the house. So he's doing a great job with the elbow straight. Can bring them in just a little bit more. Good. Where are you feeling this?
Kind of like in the middle back right here.
Middle back down here?
Yeah. Right.
Good.
There. Yeah.
That's where you should feel it. If you start to feel it up here, you got to pull those shoulders down and back a little bit more. Taking the scapula down and back. I don't want you to do it before you go, but I want you to do it as you go. And that's where he's got a little bit more issue. Hinge forward more at the waist. No winging here, which is good. Keeps those elbows straight at the top. Beautiful. And you see a little bit of dyskinesis here, meaning there's a little abnormal movement there on that right side, the throwing side, especially as he comes up, and you'll see it through his shirt here. You can see it right there. And that little variation there is something we're working on improving with this exercise, is getting him as strong as possible so that he no longer has that aberrant movement. That's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So from there, what we like to do is you can throw those down. So this is a similar exercise, which is a hip hinge in a Y. This time, I'm working on, instead of retracting and pulling my shoulders down and back, I'm actually working on reaching out once again. So this one's going to hit under the armpit, called the serratus, which is going to control the shoulder blade from the underside. But it's also hitting all the muscles on the back there that we just targeted. So this is kind of the order I like you to do the exercises in.
Okay.
When you do them. Hinge, hinge, hinge. Butt back. So like you're doing an RDL, you're sticking that butt back.
Yep.
Nice flat back posture, chin tucked, excellent. This is the first time he's ever done this, at least with me. Have you done this before?
No.
Okay, so the band is about knee height or so, and then he's gonna come palms facing up. Okay, right there, come out a little wider. So now he's actually reaching out. I'm okay with a shrug here as long as he doesn't roll that shoulders forward. So as long as he keeps a nice, good posture here. Same thing, nice and controlled. Reach, 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 5-second holds at the end. And he's going to do this for about 15 repetitions. So whereas the first 3, we like to do sets of 10 or so, we like to do 15 on these last ones. And these are the exercises he's going to continue. So he's really got 6 arm care exercises plus his holds where he doesn't let go of the ball. And those are his arm care routine that he's going to continue. So now we're working on full upward rotation, elevation of that scapula as he comes out and around the rib cage. Awesome, 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 awesome. Now, if he can be consistent with this routine, he's going to get much stronger. Once he does this for a period of a few months and throughout the course of the season, then we can start to add some different, more advanced variations. But this is really going to hit everything we need to hit for him to be as strong as possible. Is that 15?
No.
Oh, come on, man. Don't come out of it yet. Here we go. Yep. Here?
Yeah.
Yep. Beautiful. Good. So try to make those palms face up as much as you can. Let's go like 3 more. So this is 1 set. Wait till you get 3 in. Beautiful. Nice. Hinge forward a little more. Straighten those legs up a little bit. Yep. Good. We've also worked quite a bit on hip flexibility. So he's doing a nice hip extension, couch stretch. Thanks, Kelly Starrett. He's also doing some of a nice bench stretch as well, which is phenomenal. You got to have lower body flexibility if you're going to be healthy in the upper quarter here. So done that. We can head down. We'll even show this one on video. This is a nice shout out to the knees over toes guy. I said shout out to the knees over toes guy. I stole this stretch from him. I thought it was awesome. As opposed to doing it on a PT table that's flat or a bench that's flat, we can get a nice external rotation piriformis stretch. Try to get this leg lined up in the middle, back leg straight. You should feel it in the back glute, and then you're bringing the belly button and shoulder towards this side. And you should feel a huge stretch in the back without any sort of compensation here as you come through. So I like the bench for you. That's why I think the incline bench is the best, but you can do this on the arm of the couch too. So here, bring your back foot back a little bit. Okay, now you have to square up. Try to turn. Oh. So this is very tight. Where do you feel it?
Everywhere.
Do you feel it in the butt?
Yeah.
Okay, so better than when you were practicing kind of at home?
Yeah.
So turn more. Try to get this, we're trying to get this front hip towards this knee, chest up tall. Good. This way. Yep. And then what you'll see is that he's a little bit abducted with this hip. So what I'd like you to do is try to square yourself up a little bit. What I mean is your leg is out like this, and I want it right there. So you're going to have to move your back foot and your whole body towards me a little bit. There you go. Feel it more? Yep. So the bench is great because it'll support the knee, so you don't actually put a ton of varus and torque the knee. And then as he gets more flexible, he can lower this bench down so it's not at so much of an incline. If he's less flexible, if you want to come out of it, just to regress, he can do it at an angle like this if he's really, really tight. But probably best for Randy is just a little bit lower. But if you like those arm care exercises, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Also, think about the entire body when you're thinking about arm care. That means lower body flexibility. That means rib cage mobility. That means throwing technique. Throwing technique is going to be your biggest arm care that you can possibly do. Make sure you hit those 6 exercises. Test them out with various weights. Make sure your form is perfect, or as perfect as you possibly can get it. Take some videos of yourself, compare it to the YouTube video, and see how well you're doing it. Otherwise, we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks, Randy.